And we are live. Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the 5th episode of the Auburn Live Recruiting Call-In Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Joined tonight by two titans of the industry right here, and Jhead, Mr. Jhead, message board connoisseur.
Hey,
how you doing, Mr. Jhead?
Doing fantastic, baby. Doing fantastic. Now, look, my eye has seen better days, but I'm here. I'm ready to go. Cole's going to catch that gorilla that escaped from the zoo and punched me in my eye. And I'm excited to talk about Brock Glenn and everything else everybody wants to talk about tonight.
It looks good, dude. I like a good shiner always. Chicks dig that too, man.
I like that.
Hey, Cole Pinkston, Auburn Live on 3, recruiting analyst. How you doing, Big Daddy?
Doing great. I am doing great. Jhead, the search continues.
The search continues, man. We've got a lot to discuss if the subscribers and the listeners choose to. Auburn had a big weekend this past weekend. Auburn's got a huge weekend coming up, a huge rest of the month. We're going to talk about all that at our own pace on Thursday on the Shrivel Pod. But tonight is all about the listeners. We want to make the show about you. Let you steer the content, folks. We are at your beck and call tonight. We got Tyler Justice. Oh, Tyler, there's your boy Tyler, Cole. Getting in, popping the cherry, as some would say. How are we looking with Bo Hughley? The Georgia on 3 board seems to think that we are stupid for thinking that we can. Let me tell you something. I talked to Bo Sunday night. I talked to him a week before that, or a couple of weeks before that. I'm telling you, this dude, if you think Auburn is stupid for thinking that they can flip him, your mama's stupid. This dude, I mean, I think I even posted it on the message board. I was like, look, man, he really, really likes Auburn. Like, he really likes Auburn. I know Steven Ruzick has gotten more involved in his recruitment, and with his background in Georgia, connections over there, relationships with these kids at Langston Hughes. All 4 of those guys are coming in this weekend. Bo will be on an official visit. Jelani Thurman will be on an official visit. Joshua Horton will be on an official visit. And then Terrence Love, the commitment, is coming in for an unofficial visit. And I think Auburn has a very good chance of flipping him. Now, I will say I think Auburn's got a better shot with McElderry, also known as McElderry, who's also committed to Georgia. I think Auburn's got a better shot with him at this point. I really think Auburn's probably pushing harder for him at this point than Bo Hughley.
Yeah.
So,
possible.
TJ, I don't think Auburn's stupid. I think they've got a chance. Absolutely. If they really turn up the heat on Bo Hughley, I think Auburn has a very legitimate shot here. All right, Anubis, 647. Don't want to leave that out. All right, boys. On a scale of 1 to 10, I like this discussion. How concerned should we be about Brock Glenn? Fair question, because all these schools are getting involved now. It was Auburn, TCU, Mississippi State. Now you've got Florida State. You've got Ohio State offered today. Did I say that right? Ohio State. Cole, with the news that Brock Glenn now plans to visit Ohio State. Brock Glenn coming off an official visit to Auburn this past weekend. Cole, you got to talk to him.
Yeah. To answer the question, I would say 5.5 or 6. I would worry about it on a scale of 10. Right now, just because he is interested in taking an official visit, it could mess up his plans of wanting to commit before the Elite 11. And, we've been saying for a while that I talked to him a good bit, and he said that other schools were talking to him, and he wants to hear them out. Especially a school as big as Ohio State. You got Florida that's been talking to him as well. So, he told us again. I think he was really, really enjoying that Auburn visit, and he told us things from the feeling of that visit because he about it. He loves Auburn. I mean, there's no concern there. He really loves Auburn. He always has. Well, that went out in the end, maybe. I think he was just enjoying the visit so much. He was talking about trying to get it done before Elite 11. I think that's true too. But you just don't know with these new schools coming into the mix. But again, I'll go back to the comment he made to me when I asked him, what did it mean to you that Auburn got in on you kind of early? And Auburn wasn't the earliest school. There's other schools that got in earlier.
Sure.
But Auburn being kind of the hometown school and getting in early and just believing in me. He said the coaches they don't care about stars, they don't care about what your name is, they just care about who you are as a person and what you can bring to the table. So he said that his words. I think Auburn's still okay. I think there is concern though.
Zach, what you got for us, buddy?
We got 2 callers on the line.
Oh, wow.
334, you're live.
Hello, caller. What's your name?
Luke,
Luke, what's up, man?
what's up?
You got a question?
Yes. Who's gonna be the quarterback in this class?
Well, Luke, that's a good question, man. We were just talking about him. I think up until 5 seconds ago, or 5 hours ago, I should say, we all felt pretty comfortable with Brock Glenn.
Yep.
Jhead, what do you think about this Ohio State offer?
All right, so I'll dovetail. Luke, I'm going to kind of mix 2 questions here, buddy. I'm going to answer yours, and I'm going to answer the previous question at the same time. So I'm a little more optimistic than Cole. I think it's a 4 or 5 concern level right now because here are 2 factors. A, Auburn has the relationship. They have recruited him as hard or harder than anyone up until this point. They have prioritized him.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State has 2 quarterback offers on the table. One is to a quarterback that is committed to Baylor and who they've been trying to flip for a while, and they just offered Brock Glenn. We don't know how hard they're going to push for Glenn just yet. We do know he's going to OV. My understanding of it from what I've read to this point is it's going to replace the Virginia OV. So I don't think it's going to mess up his commitment timeline. And the fact that he's is probably going to come down to TCU, Auburn, Ohio State, and Florida State. I think Auburn's got the relationship. They've got the need. They've sold him on the pro-style scheme, which is very interesting to him because he has aspirations of playing at the next level and in the NFL, and he knows that the system that we currently have in place provides that opportunity and accentuates his skill set. So I think it's still going to be Brock Glenn. I'm not concerned yet. We'll see what he says coming off his Florida State visit and his Ohio State visit and see if that changes anything. But right now I'm a 4 to a 5, and I would say give it still probably a 65% chance he commits to Auburn back into June.
Yeah, I'm not backing off of mine. I still think it's fantastic for the exposure. I feel like had Brock Glenn committed to Auburn a month ago, like he very well could have, the fans wouldn't have been excited because he's probably at that point picking Auburn over TCU and Mississippi State. And in the past 4 to 5, 6 weeks, A&M has gotten involved, Florida State has gotten involved, now Ohio State. Now when he picks Auburn, if and when he picks Auburn, just the perception, the change in perception of him picking Auburn over A&M, Florida State, Ohio State, and then TCU, Mississippi State, and it just kind of goes to show you. I think it's almost like had he committed 5 or 6 weeks ago over TCU, Mississippi State, a lot of people would still be going, right? I mean, the reception from the fan base wouldn't have been as excited as it will be or would be if and when he commits now.
And let me say too, Jeffrey, I'm not backing off my prediction either. I'm staying with him to Auburn. Yeah. I just think there is some concern, especially if he delays it some. We don't know yet, but
yes,
we got 2 more callers. It looks like.
My bad, Zach. Go ahead, big dog.
Oh no, we got 3 more now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Roll them in. We won't be so long-winded.
229. You're live.
Hey, who's 229? What's your name, big dog? Where are you from?
I'm A Pusher, and I'm from Auburn.
Hey, turn your computer down or whatever you're watching it on. So you're just talking to the phone.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Hey,
I was just wondering if y'all had heard anything new on Jaquavius Russell.
Yeah,
He's a freak.
He is.
He is.
What was your name? I'm sorry, I missed that.
AU Pusher.
Hey, you Pusher, what's up, big dog?
Yeah, man, what's up?
Hey, where are you from, you Pusher?
I'm from South Georgia,
Oh, okay.
from Auburn.
Fair enough.
Oh, it's all Benny, is it not?
All Benny.
Albany.
Yeah, that's how the Yankees pronounce it. Pusher. Hey, you know what? I went down the Flint River, man. Hugh Knowles from down that way. He's from Thomaston, and I've been down there
Yeah,
that
I
way.
come to my church every now and then.
Do you?
Yeah,
Tell him I said hello next time you see him.
I'll let him know.
All right, Pusher. But Quay Russell, absolutely. He's very quiet in his recruitment. It's very. You don't see a lot of interviews with him. You don't see a lot of texting. Tweeting, Instagramming stuff from him, or James Smith for that matter. And hey, even you talk to guys at Madhouse, man, they're like, dude, these kids won't talk. I mean, they're very closed off. But Cole and I. I think we both agree that they're going to visit Auburn. If not, and I even posted in the War Room yesterday on Monday that I think those two guys will officially visit Auburn.
Agreed. Yeah.
Later this month.
Yep.
And you may not. Yeah, you may not hear about it until they get on campus. But.
Yep, that's kind of how they roll, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, who else we got there? I appreciate you, Pusher.
Yeah, man.
Yep, thank y'all.
You got it, buddy.
All right, let's see. 6, 7, 8. You're live.
What's going on, guys?
What's your name, big dog? Where are you from?
This is Austin from Canton, Georgia.
Canton.
I like it, man.
Welcome in.
What you got, Austin?
Guys, got a couple quick ones for you. First is, and this may be more for Cole just to kind of go over Perein, but it seems like his recruitment's really taken off, and just wanting to hear a little more about maybe a comp or where we sit, just a little more about him and his recruitment. And then the second one would be if y'all could make a prediction on Auburn's class by the end of July. Who are you putting in the class?
Ooh, okay. I'm glad you asked about the comp. I wanted to write that today, but I figured I'd leave it out. I was actually one of the people that I was told he resembles from people who would definitely know is Cordero Patterson that plays for the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Because, and then I added this in the story today, if you read it, about reviewing the RPM, why Auburn has surged, way up in percentage for him. I think they're at 97% in the RPM now for Perein.
Perein, for those who don't know, Perein is a 4-star athlete / wide receiver. He's an athlete, 4-star, one of the top athletes in the country that Auburn's recruiting to play wide receiver. He is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and Trevon Reed's got a fantastic relationship with him, as does Ike Hilliard. They're both pushing really hard for this kid. They think he can really help immediately. But Cole, like you said, Cordell Patterson, former Tennessee guy.
Yeah, and Jhead, I want your comp on him as well.
Quan Bray.
Okay, I like it.
Oh.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, he's that kind of guy where he's kind of a, you can throw it out in the flats. You can kind of give him jet sweeps, that kind of stuff. I mean, he's good with the ball in his hands, right?
100%. Great in space. I think you can probably use him, and you've seen him featured like this in high school as a running back and as a wide receiver. Quan did a lot of that for us, specifically on jet sweeps, orbit motion, things of that nature. I think you'll see Perein used very similarly to him, probably a more fluid and explosive athlete in the mold of a Cordell Patterson. But he does remind me from an Auburn standpoint or Auburn flavor of Quan Bray.
Yeah. Bigger guy too. He's closer to 200 pounds and about 6 foot. So,
yep.
And he told me and when he was at A-Day, he came to Auburn for A-Day, he told me there, I tote the rock. That's what I do. And that's what Auburn likes about me. And they want to give it to me however. So that's why Auburn is definitely a consideration.
Hey, Austin, for your second question, man, it's so difficult because a lot of these kids aren't going to announce until the end of July. So I tell you what we're going to do Thursday on the Shrivel Pod. All three of us, between now and then, we're going to come up with 5 guys that we think I don't know if there's going to be
right now, Jeffrey. I just wrote mine down.
Okay, go ahead then. Go ahead.
You want to say 5 guys to be in the class before the season starts? Is that what?
That's
he
what
said
we
July.
Austin said before the end of July or something. But
I think he
What-
said,
something like-
how do we feel on the defensive line, right? That was the question, Austin, was
Correct.
how do you think our defensive line is going to play out?
I think he said the class.
Did he say the
Who-
class?
Who would be in the class by the end of June?
Yeah, the class. Just to see where y'all think we'd be at, and then a couple months later, see what who you nailed on.
Gotcha.
Okay.
By
I'll
the end
give
of
you
June, it's going to be tough.
Want to hold
June,
us
it's going to be
accountable.
Brock
huh?
Glenn. Yeah. If you're going to go into June, it's going to be Brock Glenn. I think he's the only person that's going to commit by the end of June. If you factor in July, I'm also going to give you Jelani Thurman, Josh Horton, and potentially Keldrick Falk.
I'm going to put it in there, McElderry.
There you go, because he's definitely making a decision. And you got
Mhm.
Connor Strode that's also making a decision, though I feel like that's Texas as of today.
Okay. Hey, I knew it was going to be hard. Cole, you got anything you want to add
Maybe,
on?
maybe Jeremiah Cobb is one too.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to drag it out too much. I don't know. Clemson's in there too. It's interesting. There's a lot of guys that probably want to wait a little while, see how things go, but that's why it's kind of difficult. That's why it's a hard question. I appreciate the hard question.
Yeah, Clemson felt like he's going to pop this summer. I saw their report today. They felt like he's going to pop this summer, and they think it's 50-50 them and Auburn.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I think it's gotten that way.
As of today, yes. Ask me again next week.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm sorry. He's coming the 17th.
Yes.
He's coming the 17th. So he's coming Friday week. So, hey, Austin, I tell you what, man, call back about 2 weeks from now. We'll probably have a better idea before the end of the month who's going to decide, who's got things set up, and where we think they're going to be.
Right.
And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to keep a running tab on guys we think are in this class. Which, by the way, although he's not going to announce, Perein would be in my class. I think everybody agrees there. He is going to come for an official visit for the Penn State game. So keep an eye on that weekend. I think it's September 17th-ish. Keep an eye on that game. Zach, you got us another one, big dog?
Oh yeah, we got the call. We still got 4 people waiting.
Hey,
Okay, let's roll.
Bring him in.
931, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, baby?
Who we got online?
Willie Scott.
What's up, Willie Scott?
Return caller Willie Scott. Come on in, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question. War Eagle, though. For real, let me get that out of the way. I want to know the difference between a official visit and an unofficial visit. I never knew what that meant. Can y'all break that down?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to know, even to be refreshed on this for some recruiting fans, man. Unofficial visit, Willie, you're paying your own dime. So if you're going to take an unofficial visit to Auburn, you're going to pay for your travel. You're going to, if you want to stay the night, you're going to pay for your hotel. You're going to. I think they can give you maybe a meal or something if you come for like a game as an unofficial visit. But you're 90% of it's coming out of your own pocket. And you come on an official visit, they're paying for you to leave your house and go to the airport. They're paying for you to fly here. They're picking you up at the airport. They're bringing you to the hotel. They're putting you up in everything from the time you open or the time you close your door to the time you open it at home is paid for by the school. So that's why you only get 5 of those. It's because obviously it costs some money to bring some guys in on official visits.
And I'll go one step further on that, Jeffrey. Typically, official visits are much more detail-oriented. I mean, I'm talking about coaches will have it so specific that you drive by the stadium at a certain time so that you can see a certain thing. Photo shoots, design time with the coaches to get on the whiteboard, all kinds of things that they have on those official visits that you don't necessarily always get to on an unofficial because they just kind of pop up. So like Jeffrey said, it's a lot more structured and there's a lot of money that's put into that, a lot of time, a lot of planning.
Mm-hmm.
So them the ones we really want to hit on because, I mean, they spend that much time with them. You really want to impress them and give them the sign with you. I get it.
100%.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good night. And War Damn Eagle.
War Eagle, brother.
Appreciate you. Jeffrey, I think you're muted there.
334, you're live.
Damn, I had some good shit to say.
What's going on, boys?
What's up? What's your name?
This is Ace of School. What's going on?
Hey.
All right.
Hey, I told y'all I was going to call, man.
You're a man of your word.
That's right. So I got 2 quick questions. So every class I fall in love with a couple guys. This year it's Eldrick Falk and Carmelo English. Just want to know what you guys think on them. And then my other question is for Jhead, just kind of a little bit more Auburn bias from you. I want to know just kind of what you think Carson's done from like February with all the drama to now. Like, could you grade him?
I'll say on Carmelo English, he's a guy we could have mentioned as possibly making a decision before the season comes. Just because he's kind of a wild card. I don't think he's going to give away his hand, and he's already narrowed it down to 5. And I think Auburn is, the RPM on our website, the on 3 RPM, it says Auburn's in the lead, and I think that's pretty clear. I think he's probably one of the guys that Auburn leads for right now.
He's also another one, Aces, that very, very close to his vest. Recruitment probably won't know he's here until he gets here.
Yeah. And Keldrick Falk, he'll be in this weekend, right, Jeffrey?
He's coming in this weekend.
We'll find out more about him. He's a quiet guy too. When we say quiet guys, it's not that they don't talk and they don't, interview. It's just they're pros. They know what to say, and they're not doing it on purpose. They have their thoughts and they keep them to themselves while giving you, your interview. And nothing wrong with that at all. You just don't exactly know where they're leaning, and some of them may want that. So Keldrick Falk obviously likes Auburn. Definitely top 3, 4 for Auburn, or for him. Auburn is in the top 3 or 4. So, I think Clemson's there too. Florida State, that's where he's leaning.
Aces, I would have both of those guys in my class projection if we were doing one right now. I would, whatever. I would.
I'd agree with that. And like you said, I think it's top 4. I think Falk's top 4 are Florida State, Auburn, and Clemson. He's visited Clemson. He'll come to Auburn, and he'll see the other 2 the month of June. And then that's why I think he's going to pop and make a decision here relatively quickly thereafter. With regard to English, I'm the same as Jaleel Cole. I won't drag this out. I think he's an Auburn Tiger as of today.
Hey, appreciate you, Aces.
To your second question, with regard to how Harsin has done from February moving forward since that incident with the school or with our BOT alumni, however you want to say it, I don't think you really could have done much better. If we're being completely honest, I think there was some merit to some of the, what was being looked into. It obviously ended up being completely nothing. He was exonerated. A lot of the contention was some of the people that were involved in that situation. It was recruiting, roster management, and the kind of the tailspin that we went into at the end of the season. He's cleaned up the roster. He's got complete buy-in as far as that's concerned from the guys that are here. He's brought in transfers that he likes, that he thinks accentuate the strengths and weaknesses of this team to give him a better roster. And recruiting has been full circle from the amount of pressure that they put on people. They've had more people on campus. They've made better connections in our feeder states. He's starting to reach out more to the public. You saw him on the ambush trail. His coach, the evaluation tour that he put his coaching staff on. Cole, what did they call that?
Tiger Takeover.
Tiger Takeover was fantastic as far as building relationships with the high school coaching staffs. The high school coaches clinic that they put on was a really good hit. I know that Cole's dad attended that, and a couple other high school coaches that I know attended that. They came away very impressed with the staff. And he's done a better job of building relationships with Board of Trustee members, alumni, just more or less getting his face out there. And now he's got this podcast where he's providing insight and transparency with regard to his staff.
Yeah.
So as far as being able to overcome the difficulties that February placed on him, he gets 2 thumbs up and A's from me. I don't think you could have managed it any differently and come out as well as he has. But all that won't matter if we don't make a difference on the football field this coming fall. Those same gripes and the negativity and everything else is going to come back out if we don't have some quality wins and make some noise on the field this fall. So that's kind of my answer, Aces, and I appreciate the question.
Yep.
All right, 2 more callers. 205, you're live.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Got
Buddy,
you.
what's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's T Phillips 1007. Calling from Birmingham.
All right. T. Phillips. What's up, big dog?
Welcome in. Welcome in.
What's going on? First, I got to say, Jhead, you look a lot younger than I thought you did. Listening to the podcast all the time.
You pictured him with that black eye too, right?
Oh yeah,
All
looking like Rocky the Raccoon over here.
Number one, Jaleel Hurley. Haven't heard anything on him, the cornerback from, I think, Florence. Is anything going on with him?
He went to Alabama this past weekend, I believe. Went to camp there too. T. Phillips, I said this before. Listen, I'm not going to be surprised. I'll be more surprised if he doesn't come back to Auburn and visit at some point. But I think for Auburn's sake, he's a guy you don't want to hear a lot about.
Yeah.
I feel like because the last time he visited Auburn, and a lot of people close to it thought he was close to flipping, and Alabama got wind of it, and his reasons for flipping were Alabama wasn't paying him enough as much attention as Auburn was, and wasn't really feeling the love from Alabama and the need. And as soon as Alabama got wind of that, they flipped the switch on him. And so I've said it in the past. I'll say it again, man. The best thing Auburn fans can hope for with Jaleel Hurley is that you don't hear his name again until it's been released by Auburn that he has signed.
Right. No news is good news.
And a hat tip to Darren Usher and my boy Lil Wayne. Real G's move like lasagna, silent. That's what you want from that recruitment, baby. So that's what you should expect going forward.
I guess my second question is kind of more of a basketball question, but do we have a shot with KJ Evans Jr.? Is that a true shot, or is that just a Jabari went here, I'll go visit?
I think that was probably getting him on campus. Kwame Evans Jr., for those listening, is the number 4 overall player in the 2023 class. He's coming in for an official visit June 13th. So that's getting him here is fantastic. Although I think more people that know about are people that know more about his recruitment than me think Arizona was a Gonzaga, Jhead. Yes. Arizona, Gonzaga, but I think most people, including our own 3 national guys, think Arizona is the team to beat. But man, we know what an official visit to Auburn will do, and he's going to be by himself on that visit. Not alone, but I mean he'll be the only one visiting, so he'll get all the attention from the coaches. He'll get all the film room and the schemes of how they would use him. So check back the week of June 15th. He's going to leave June 15th. I'll have an interview with him and a lot better idea on that. But I do think, as of right now, Arizona is the team to beat. Just from reading, I don't have any scoop there. I'm just saying. I trust our own 3 national guys when they say Arizona is the team to beat.
Understood. And then my last question, I'll hang up and listen. How is the NIL going at Auburn? You see stuff where people say Harson's being handcuffed, and then you see other people say, no, he's getting some support. So I'm just kind of curious if y'all know anything about how that's going on behind the scenes, because obviously we don't have a purview to it. So I just wanted to see what you guys think. I appreciate it, War Eagle.
Appreciate you, TP. Jhead, what you got on your NIL? You've got connections there that I don't.
So I'm going to actually go with what Justin Hokanson put in place. Hoke had a nice article together not too long ago with regard to Auburn NIL. It's in the process of merging or being outright purchased by a large group of financially well-to-do people who could provide this with an influx of cash. As far as Harson's relationship with NIL, I don't know how much of a relationship Coach Harsin has or he's allowed to have with Auburn NIL. I do know that there are people that are looking to help Auburn's recruiting and to make sure, not necessarily recruiting, but to help our Auburn athletes and make sure that they are well taken care of and that they are fully compensated for their name, image, and likeness. I don't think probably in about a month or maybe even less that funding is going to be an issue as far as that's concerned. I feel pretty certain that we're going to be able to match up with what other SEC teams are doing, maybe short of Texas A&M. Jimbo, don't call me. Don't, accuse me of sliced bread or anything else, man.
He's calling a press conference right now.
I'm telling you, dog. But obviously they just have deeper pockets than a lot of other schools. But I feel like we're going to be able to match up and that you're going to see a commitment from our alumni to make sure that Auburn NIL is successful.
All right. I think this was Felix.
Felix, cat.
251, you're
Felix,
live.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
What's
Is this
up, Felix?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good.
Very good.
Felix.
Oh, hold on. Let me take that off.
Appreciate you, big dog. You're a seasoned vet on this show, man. You can't be making these rookie noobs mistakes.
Yeah, I know it, right? Hey, I got a couple questions for y'all. One, the guy we just got in Moore from Louisiana.
Yeah.
How does he? I just got on the website, so I might have missed the conversation. But can you just run me through it real fast? How does he fit in? And is he small as they say he is, or
No.
tall?
No, he's definitely not small.
He's 6 feet. He's 6'1", cleats on.
We got to know him a little bit this weekend, me and Jeffrey. He's bulked up a little bit, it looks like to me. Probably in the 190 range, about 6 foot. You want to know how he fits into the offense at Auburn? You know, he's a guy that's got good hands. As a recruit, they talked about his speed being a big thing. You know, personally, I haven't seen his speed.
Will he take the top off the offense? Will he take the top off? You know, like will he be downhill, or will he be like a kind of like a slant guy, or you know,
Felix, what I noticed about him, what I wrote in the inside the commitment on him was he's always been a guy that catches the short routes. But, you know, like I said, those short routes, a lot of guys have made a lot of money on those short routes in the NFL because he's quick. He's good off the ball. And when he catches the ball, he's not one of those receivers that shies away from contact. He puts his head down and gets extra yards. It's almost like a running back, right? That's kind of what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm with you, Cole. I think when I put on his LSU film, what you saw is somebody that was predominantly featured in the slot, and really was used as a safety outlet on short routes, man beater routes like cross, shallow mesh, things of that nature. Yeah. Did really well with beating zone coverage, sitting out in the holes, everything else. But you saw him more quick than fast. So I didn't really see that deep speed that he necessarily kind of showed in high school. I didn't see that on the college level. That doesn't mean he can't do it. Just means that we haven't seen it yet to this point. I don't think he's going to be featured in the slot for Auburn. My understanding of it is he's going to be an outside receiver, so he's going to be a Z or an X, probably opposite of Cedric Jackson or Malcolm Johnson Jr. And we'll see. I mean, I think he definitely raises the floor of our wide receiver room. There's no question as far as that's concerned. Helps us potentially as a day one starter, definitely a day one contributor. So definitely a good pickup in Coy Moore.
And listen, I
was that's what I was kind of looking at, like word like not does he like does he start? You know, do you think he's going to start with us, or he's going to be like kind of like a number two, like something like that?
Felix, I think he's a starter. And what I was told this weekend, just kind of hanging around listening, that they think he's got potential to be wide receiver one. Probably. Listen, but we'll go ahead this other way. The MVP.
Well, I got one question for you guys, and the young quarterback we seen number one. I think I've seen his stuff on Twitter, what he put this Instagram. That guy right there, how tall he is. He's a pretty tall quarterback to be. I guess he's still in the high school, or he's just getting out of high school, one or the other. But he looks pretty mean, looks pretty good.
Who's this?
Are you talking about Zach Calzada?
Yeah, no, the one that just seen the planes.
You're talking about Brock Glenn.
Brock Glenn.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah. He just got we talked about him a little early in the show. He just got an offer from Ohio State today. If you missed that, Felix. So just finished his official visit with Auburn. He's going to take an official visit to Ohio State, and hopefully, he's going to he hopes to have a decision really soon after that. So
that's the dude they call Auburn, right? That's the guy. His name's Auburn or something.
Yes, his first name is Auburn. Yeah, Auburn Brock Glenn.
Yeah. that kind of put me back a little bit. I never heard that before, but that was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, War Eagle guys, and I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Let me get this out of the way. Hold on, Zach. Our MVP of the first half of the show big caller was Luke from Auburn.
Ah, Luke.
Is that Luke right there?
Hey.
From Auburn.
I like it, baby. Luke, that was a heck of a call, man.
Very good. Good stuff.
He's a professional YouTuber.
All right.
Mike, get out of here.
You're live.
Hello, it's Russ from Colorado again.
Hey, Russ.
What's up, Russ? Colorado?
Hey, how are you?
Very good.
Doing good, Russ. Doing good. Glad you called in, man.
Absolutely. Hey, I've got a question about linebackers.
Bring it.
How do you guys feel about the linebackers we have at Auburn now? And is there anybody kind of waiting in the wings that you're really kind of chomping at the bit to see?
Yeah.
And who are we going after in recruiting this next class that could be a stud linebacker?
So, Russ, I will have a story on those linebackers tomorrow. I'll give you a preview.
Sweet.
You talking about the team linebackers, Cole?
No. I'll have a story on the recruiting side. The 2023 linebacker targets tomorrow morning. But you got a guy like Lewis Carter who's just kind of come out of nowhere, and he's a 4-star guy that's going to be officially visiting. Actually, is it this weekend? You will have 3 4-star linebackers on campus.
Oh yeah,
I think Lewis Carter.
We got D. Creighton, right? Yeah, D. Creighton and C.J. Allen are coming in this weekend, and then
Lewis Carter
is coming in next weekend. And listen, these three guys are studs, man. And
yeah.
Christian Robinson's going to get the guys. He's going to have Jaden Osbury was last weekend. He's got 4 of the top linebackers in the country visiting over the first 3 weekends in June.
And Phil Picciotti at the very end.
Okay.
Yep, Phil Picciotti
coming in.
As far as – sorry, Russ, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, fantastic. You can go ahead.
Yeah, so as far as the linebackers on the team, Jhead, I want to see if we're on the same page here.
Go ahead, baby.
My pick is actually technically, we think, not going to play in the box as a linebacker anymore. Would have been Joko Willis. And it looks like he has moved to the edge group and is going to help out there. But Wesley Steiner is the guy I think is probably going to step up and be, 60, 70 plus tackle guy for the team this year, take over where Zacoby McClain, is he going to be as good? I don't know. We just don't know yet. He's got to bring the physicality. I think he's got the tools to be that guy. But, there's a reason he's been behind for a while. Let's see if he can step up and make the plays. That's the guy I would pick.
I agree, Cole. Me and you were on the same page. I think Wesley Steiner is going to be a starter for us at Mike linebacker this year, flanked by Owen Papo at the wheel.
Yeah.
And it's just time for Wesley to step up. He's a very intellectual kid. I believe he chose Auburn over Stanford. And also had Georgia Tech, 2 really high academic institutions, so that intelligence level is not an issue for him.
Yeah.
From a physical standpoint, he split a lot of time between running back and linebacker in high school. Wasn't necessarily probably the most technically sound linebacker, so he's had to kind of learn to play in the box a little bit better. But he's got all the physical attributes that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Sideline to sideline speed, power, the ability to shuck the guard. I mean, he's got the complete package. The question is, can he put it together mentally this fall? I think he can. I think he's our starter. And like Cole said, he's probably about a 70 to 80 tackle guy this year for us, contingent on, him being able to grasp everything.
Right.
Okay.
Good
Wonderful
stuff, Russ. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Caller now.
What'd you say, Zach?
205. You're live.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, man, who do we have? What's your name? Where are you from?
This is Chase from Helena.
Chase from Helena.
Helena.
I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on the defensive line, and I saw my son played against they used to live in Helena, and they moved to Calera, and he played against we saw what's that,
Jason Jones.
They call him Bad Moon now. I just want to get y'all's opinion on him, and I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Chase.
Jhead,
Cole, what you got on Jason?
Go for it, Jhead.
Prototypical nose tackle, probably a starter this year. Love his game, love what he can do. The question is, will he give maximum effort every play? I think from a physicality standpoint, from just pure ability, Jason Jones has got it. And Mario Cristobal wouldn't have recruited him to Oregon if he didn't think that he could play at a very high level. Can Jimmy Brumbaugh unlock his potential and get him to play at that level each and every snap? You saw it in phases at Oregon. Yeah. Now we need to get that consistency to kind of bolster our defensive line and put us in a position where we're not compromised at the nose tackle, which is what happened a little bit last year.
Yeah, I agree. And that was the point of bringing him in. I think even if you don't lose some guys to the portal, at that position, which they did, they lost J.J. Pegues and some backup guys that didn't play much. He's a guy that you bring in anyway because he just brings a different flavor to the nose guard position. He's not your typical guy. He's massive. He's about 6'6", 6'7", and height is kind of. It can be a disadvantage as a nose guard because you want to be the lower guy. You want to be the guy that makes a push up the middle. The good thing about Jason Jones, even though his effort maybe wasn't as great as you want it to be all the time and he kind of disappeared at times, he never got moved off the ball.
No.
They're not going to do that easily. Nobody can do that easily. So, yeah, I think he might take that next step, get in the weight program at Auburn and really thrive. Maybe not – he may take a slow start to get him going, but I think his potential's through the roof.
I agree, Cole. And I think a very telling comment on a story that you did by Sadir Mitchell, who was a nose tackle we were recruiting. They basically said, put your eyes on Jason Jones, and he just raved about what his potential was. I think at one point he knocked the center completely back and created a fumble and recovered that fumble in one practice. So potential through the roof.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think he hung up and listened.
Yeah, I think he did.
That was Chase from Helena, man. Now, wasn't Jason Jones from Calera?
Yes.
Yeah, he said they moved to Calera or something along those lines.
Didn't he have another like a safety or an athlete that signed with Alabama that year as well? Didn't Jason? Oh man, I can.
So they just signed a receiver from there, Kobe Prentice.
No, I'll think of it.
And then J.J. Evans signed with Auburn, who was from that Calera Montevallo area.
Yeah, he's Montevallo, yeah.
JP, of the visitors this weekend, I was about to run over this. Who would you put Auburn? Who would you put to Auburn if signing day was today? Good question. Let me give you the visitors real quick. We talked about the Langston Hughes 4, 3 of whom will be here on official visits. Bo Hughley, Jelani Thurman, Joshua Horton. You've also got 4-star edge Keldrick Falk. We talked about earlier. 4-star defensive lineman Hunter Osborne from Hewitt-Trussville. 4-star edge Reuben Bain from Miami. 4-star offensive lineman DJ Chester from Georgia. 4-star linebacker D. Creighton from Denmark, from Alpharetta. And 4-star linebacker CJ Allen from Barnesville, Georgia. Oh, and I tell you what, don't forget about Jakeem Jackson, man. This little 3-star – excuse me, this little 3-star corner. I say little 3-star because we hadn't heard of – I hadn't heard of him until this past weekend. And somebody tipped me like Jakeem Jackson. I was like, damn. Mm-hmm. And then I get with him and dude, like Tisharvin Bell, me and Tisharvin Bell, T-Bell, that's my dude right there, man. I saw it when tailgated with him and Chris Davis last year one game. That was back in the day when you got to get close with these guys and even as players, man. So you followed his recruitment, which T-Bell went from a low-ranked 2-star to a 4-star by the time he was done. And of course, we know what he did at Auburn. But anyways. So Jakeem is cousins with T-Bell, and Jakeem's coming in this weekend. I think he got an offer, Cole. Didn't you write today that he had an offer back in May, maybe?
Yeah, man, he had every offer in May, just about. Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, everybody jumped in at the same time.
So, JP, to answer your question, Jhead, are you working on your list? You got Keldrick, Bo Hughley, Hunter Osborne, Jelani Thurman, Reuben Bain, DJ Chester, D. Creighton, CJ Allen, Joshua Horton, Jakeem Jackson.
Yeah.
10 of OBs. Somebody's not coming in this weekend. I tell you who's not coming in. I don't know if it's this weekend or not. Isaiah Nixon, the UCF edge commitment.
Oh, yeah, Isaiah Nixon, yeah.
He's not coming in. Anyways, out of those guys, out of these visitors, JP wants to know, who would you put if Auburn signing day were today? Jhead, you look ready.
I'm ready. So I'm going to go with DJ Chester.
Yep, I like it.
Thurman, D. Creighton, Keldrick Falk, Josh Horton, and Hunter Osborne. And maybe Jakeem Jackson, contingent on how the visit goes.
Okay.
Maybe.
I will echo DJ Chester. I'm gonna go with y'all are talking me into Falk right now. Both of y'all feel pretty good. I wasn't ready to go there yet, but I'm getting closer now. So let's go with Falk.
I think it's a got to, Cole. I think we're gonna pull out all the stops and we gotta let.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It really does. I mean, you got to have some edges, right? And he is
playing time for these kids right now. Edge, God, yeah, you can walk into Auburn and be second team.
And you know what? I know a little bit about old Highland Home, Alabama.
Hey, me too, buddy.
Home of the squadron. Most of those guys there, they like to be close to home too. So small town. So that's playing for Auburn pretty well too, I would think. Between the two linebackers, D. Creighton, CJ Allen, I don't know, man. I'm really anxious to learn more about CJ Allen. I think it's big that he's there this weekend. I think Georgia's a big contender too, but I'm not ready to name a linebacker yet because of that. And I think they want to. So, yeah, D. Creighton would be a good pick though, because I think he does really like Auburn.
I think we've recruited him longer and harder than anybody else to this point. And that was something that I took from the Clemson site on their report.
Yeah.
They felt like that the relationship with C-Rob was going to play out in the end for D. Creighton. So that's kind of, I'm taking information from someplace else and applying it to this list. But yeah, I think 6 guys from this weekend, from this massive weekend, end up in this class.
Let me recap that real quick. For me, I'm going with Chester, Horton, Falk, and then I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about Osborne, Thurman, and you know what? I'll even say Reuben Bain. I think that he is I think Auburn could be sort of a dark horse there.
I wish we could. I feel like Miami's going to be tough. Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm kind of lukewarm on right now, but I'm getting closer to feeling better about.
Jeffrey, where are you at, man?
I've got Thurman, Horton. I got Thurman, Horton, Falk. DJ Chester, D. Creighton. I think, and Jakeem Jackson. I'll take, what's that? Is that 5 or 6?
Yeah, that's 5.
Man, I apologize about my background, dude. I've got a green screen back there, but the sun's going down. It's driving me crazy.
Looks like the Blair Witch Project going on back there, man.
I'm sorry.
Hey, let me just run through. Someone trying to hack into Jay Lee's backdrop. Jay Lee is in the Matrix.
The sun's going down, man.
In the Matrix. Which pill you take, Jay Lee? The red pill or the blue?
Oh,
blue pill, baby, all night long.
Jay Lee is in the quantum realm. Very good.
Now, let me see if I can fade it in around. I mean, I'm new to this stuff, man. Look, there you go.
Hey, there it is.
He's out.
Now he's disappeared.
We don't see
you. Can't see me?
No.
Oh my god! Hey, that looks better.
It does. It looks good. That looks
all
good.
Right, cool. Let's do that. Let's do that. Well, I'm in Cashers, North Carolina, broadcasting. So I've got a little new scenery around me right now. All right, cool. That looks much better. It was driving me crazy before. I was up trying to move my pins and stuff. But anyways, all right. Let's see. Logan Smith. There's a quick question from Logan. Is there a timeline on Kai Perein's commitment? Hey, he said before his senior season. And which I went to a source and said, that's got to be a good sign if he's planning to come to Auburn. He's waiting to come. He could come next week if he wanted to. He wants to come for another game. He came last year to the Georgia game. He came last year to the Alabama game. He wants to come to that Penn State game. He wants it to be his official visit. So to me, that's got to be a great sign.
I believe that's what alerted our national guy. Who was it? Sam Spiegelman that put in recent prediction for him because he saw that and went, a fall official visit. Interesting. Nobody's really doing that right now. That's all summer. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jeffrey, weren't you kind of first to the Perein prediction thing there?
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I was told about this kid months ago. I didn't even know who he was. I heard the name Kai and the relationship that he has, and
I know I marked him down for one game last year. I know he was at least one game last year. I marked him down.
It might have been after one of those games. It was like, dude, you need to know this kid right here. And I didn't know who he was. And later was like, this is what I was told. If Trevon Reed is at Auburn, Perein will be at Auburn.
Yeah.
And I believe you probably were the first to announce his name January-ish when I started on the podcast with you guys. You broke the Perein news and said he would be in my class if I were predicting today.
Yeah.
That seems to be coming true.
Well, now you know why.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what I mean. Let me tell you something. Ike Hilliard is going to get a lot of credit for Coy Moore, but listen, the first name out of his mouth, and Darren Usher should too, because Coy did mention him too. But the first name out of his mouth was Trevon Reed called and was telling me. I mean, and when Trevon talks, I listen.
Yeah.
So Trevon had a huge impact on Coy Moore. So did Ike Hilliard
at the 8A game. He said that too. So yeah.
And Cole was with me too, and I was Cole on your way. I saw him Jhead. Usher was even Coy even mentioned Usher.
Yeah,
I think that was more when he got on campus.
Yeah,
but Trevon and Ike both with Louisiana ties had Coy Moore there. You had Jaden Osbury there. Jaden Osbury's mom and dad both were there on the official visit. I thought that was big. Yo Malcolm, any big time elite tackles and receivers that we're in the lead for this recruiting class, or potential transfers this season. Well, the receivers are in. Zaylen Worsham and Coy Moore both transfer receivers. They will. I think Coy's coming Wednesday or Thursday. Wasn't that Cole? Wasn't that what we were told? Wednesday or Thursday, Coy was going to move into Auburn.
This Wednesday, maybe tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah, Zaylen is already on campus. Big time elite tackles that we're in the lead for. I feel pretty good about Auburn's offensive line class. Shit, I think we all do, don't we?
I think Stanton Ramil is probably the one that gets my attention the most right now. If you're talking pure tackle, I'd say Stanton Ramil is probably the guy. And I think he's pretty elite. I mean, isn't he? He's in the top 200 for sure, correct?
Yeah.
He's a 4-star tackle, dude. In-state guy.
There you go. Elite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably the one that jumps out at me off the top of my head that I think that we're going to land.
And listen, there's a lot of other guys on the offensive line we feel good about. And most of them are projected as interior guys. We love where Auburn sits with some guards and well, you got Braden Joyner, but we've talked about the guards before. Hit me with that next question. I think it was from TJ Thomas Jones. In y'all opinion, do you see commitments before fall camp? Pretty popular question here. Listen, all these kids are visiting. People are going to want to see some results. And yes, Thomas, I absolutely do. We all see commitments coming. We all still think Brock Glenn commits. We have Jhead mentioned. I think Rockwez McElderry, also known as McElderry. Jelani Thurman is another guy Cole mentioned. Joshua Horton is a guy Cole mentioned. Keltrick Falk is a guy who's going to be and Jeremiah Cobb is also a potential guy. Perein, as we talked about. Wants to do it before his senior season. So I think we're going to see an uptick in announcements, and I think Auburn's going to win certainly their fair share of these things. Now, we'll say this, and we say this every week. Man, the real test is going to come this fall. Man, win. Listen, listen. Auburn has positioned itself right now that if they have a better than average season, they're going to have they're going to have a very impressive recruiting class by the time December comes around. If Auburn has a better than average season this year, I really feel that way. So the commitments are going to come, man. I think they're going to come first, a few of them, and I think the majority of the big ones are going to come if and when Auburn has that season, that make some noise season. JP, has Louisiana to Auburn pipeline become more important than the Florida to Auburn? No, not more important now. No, but very important.
Well, you got a lot of things going for you with the state of Louisiana right now. There's no reason not to try and get the guys you deem important targets from there. It's working right now. And they're doing the same thing in Florida. It's just not as advertised because you've gotten some commitments from guys from Louisiana. But I think the state of Florida, you'll see 2, 3, or 4 guys maybe in this class from that state.
And when you look at the states that produce the most NFL draft picks, California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana. That's pretty much your predominant top 5 or top 6 states. Auburn realistically can get a foothold in 5 of those. You know what I mean? And with the connections that we have on staff, there's no reason why we can't and continue to be effective in Louisiana. I think Rock Bellantoni has done a fantastic job in Florida along with C-Rob. Obviously, everybody knows the connections to the state of Georgia that we have on this staff. And then Alabama's always going to be a focal point. So you're talking 4 states within 600 miles of Auburn that you can use as feeder states to leverage talent. You got to do it.
It's interesting, too, you know, with Ed Orgeron at LSU, it was like, well, you know, if he wants somebody from that state, he probably can get them. He's from there, you know, he had that appeal to him. Brian Kelly comes in, and it's kind of like Harsin was at Auburn last year. He's a guy from out of town. He's a guy that's got to make the relationships in that state, and maybe you go, well, let's see if we can take advantage of that.
Right. Can you get a Jade Nosberry out of Louisiana?
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
so far,
right. You know, this has definitely opened the door. And once you get 1 or 2 guys, and Jeffrey knows this as well as anybody, you start to get 1 or 2 and they blow up. Well, now that's a selling point going back every cycle. Hey, look what we did with this kid.
Which Javon Reed's got. He played a little bit in the NFL as well, right?
He did.
Cam Newton and took it 100 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah,
that's right.
Was the
Chargers?
Yeah, I was going to say when he was with the Chargers. I know he played with Seattle for a minute. Also played with the Chargers.
Yeah, so you got that selling point from a coach on your staff, right?
There you go.
Big time.
And the thing about Louisiana is you've got Trevon Reed on staff. You've got Ike Hilliard on staff. You've got to utilize them. Like, what's the point, right? And their ties are to Louisiana. And you've got Jaden Austin Osbury. You've got JD. No, who was the other one from Louisiana last year?
Nietzsche Sledge.
Yep.
Nietzsche.
Camden Brown was also is originally from Louisiana. He was that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Louisiana.
Donovan Kaufman.
DK. Coy Moore.
Yes.
Coy Moore, TJ Finley. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I didn't know this, but DK and Coy went to high school together, graduated the same year.
Yeah. Yeah, we learned that Sunday.
Over at Rummel, I think is where it was. Rummel Archbishop.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
it. So a lot of Judd Davis. Jade Davis 5 here. Whatever happened to the Bowles kid that's a linebacker? Troy Bowles. We still recruiting him. What happened there? Did he eliminate Auburn? Did he come out with a top group?
No.
I'm thinking of Jordan Hall. Troy Bowles, he's another C-Rob special. Guarantee you C-Rob is going to I'll check on him again this week, Jay Davis. But I would put – are you going to have him on your list, Cole, tomorrow?
No, probably not because he's a little bit more quiet right now. I don't know what he's going to do about his official visit. So, but Auburn is in the mix from what we understand.
Yeah, it's just this competition's stiff. I mean, you got the elite of the elite coming after Troy Bowles, where it's Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, multiple other big-time schools that are in the mix in addition to Auburn. I think Florida's also in the mix. So a lot of really good schools. And like Cole said, he's just gone silent. But Jay Lee's right. C-Rob's got a big, big connection with that kid. If they can leverage it into a visit, then you never know what's going to happen.
Listen, you got to think, C-Rob was at Florida last year. So these Florida 4-star linebackers, he was all over these kids last year when they were, sophomores about to go junior. So the relationships he has with these kids, especially in Florida. In Troy Bowles from Florida?
Yes.
Yes.
But he's been in upstate New York. His dad was the head coach of the Jets for a while. So he's been kind of transient. But
okay.
Right now in Tampa, yes.
Good stuff there, Jay Davis. John Addison, excluding Brock Glenn. If you could secure a commitment right now from one of the June visitors, who would you pick?
Whew.
The June visitors. Let me read them off for you.
Go for it, Jay Lee.
Okay, we know who's coming in this weekend. Who came last weekend was Jaden Osbury, Jamal Jarrett, in Brock Glenn, but we're eliminating him. M. Jeffrard. 17th, you've got Lewis Carter, Jeremiah Cobb, Lewis Carter, Connor Liu. June 24th. Oh, Deron Reed's coming the 21st. Sadir Mitchell.
Is he asking us personally who would we take?
Yeah, and I know mine off the top of my head. I'd go with Jeremiah Cobb just because the board's so small at running back. You got to get one. He's local. You don't need to lose a kid like that to Tennessee or Clemson. You need to land that one. He's a high quality kid. And to be honest, I don't even know who's on the board besides him at this point. I mean, with Roderick Robertson coming off the board to UCLA, I really don't know who we turn to if it's not him.
I got one set in stone as well. And it's not Jeremiah Cobb, it's different. Mine would be old McElderry.
Okay.
Because it means so much. You gotta have O-line. I think he would be.
You got me, didn't you?
Wait, I missed it. What'd you say?
McElderry visited in May.
Yeah.
John Addison wants to know. Let me give you mine, Jhead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Give me Reuben Bain, big dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reuben Bain, the career sack leader for Auburn by the time he leaves.
I love that kid. I mean, love him. Jay Lee, I'd give my left arm if we could get him. I feel like Miami's going to be real tough there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think the only way he gets him is if I pick him right now. The only way Auburn gets him is if I pick him right now. So if I could secure a commitment right now from one of the June visitors, position of need, talent this kid has, a relationship with Rock, give me Reuben Bain. And a close number, 1B would be Jeremiah Cobb, because I think if you lose him, the perception's terrible.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Well,
and I'm always about to pick Cobb because Jhead picked him.
In that vein, the one you don't want to lose is Brock Glenn, right?
Absolutely.
Well, they're saying besides Brock Glenn. So they did say besides Brock Glenn.
Oh, besides. Golly, man. I'm the one that's got a black eye.
This dude was one time. Letlow, Mr. Letlow. Off Auburn lands both Kai and Carmelo. Excuse me. Do they go JUCO portal route for additional wide receivers to get experience? The Kai Poole is out, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Oh, he's that dude. I don't know what the hell's going on with Nakai Poole. I have tried, Austin. I have tried, dude. Kid will not. I don't know. I don't know if he thinks I met up with his mom late one night or what, but he will not answer my text, my DM, my call, anything. So I'm done with it, dude. If he don't want any exposure from me, I'm not going to give him any. So
Kevon Brown's the one we're out with, right? The one that committed to Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Right after his Bama visit, by the way.
Crazy.
Kai and Carmelo, no, I don't think so. I don't think they go looking for. Well, hold on, I will say this. I need to find out about Samaj James and how he did. He's not going to. He's the 17-year-old kid from JUCO. He'll finish the second year JUCO this year. I think if Auburn looks, I don't think Auburn's in desperate need for upperclassmen wide receivers. Do you, Jhead?
No, I don't get that sense. I think they probably will add one through the portal. Contingent on, what happens with Coy Moore this season, what happens with Cedric Jackson this season. You're obviously going to lose somebody from that starting lineup, so there's the potential you could go back to the portal. But I get the feeling they're looking for 3 high school kids that all fit the positions that they're recruiting for. I think Carmelo English is that slot guy. I think Kai Perein's probably your Z. I'm not exactly sure who we're going to target at X just yet. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be that big physical wide receiver in this class.
Yeah,
that's kind of TBD right now. Nakai Poole could be that guy, but like Jeffrey said, there's just not a lot of intel there.
No, would have said Brown, right? But
but yeah, he committed to Oklahoma, and maybe we stay on him. Maybe it's somebody else. I know there was a couple kids in Louisiana we were going to take a long look at. They were kind of project players that were bigger kids.
Yeah, Harvey Brichard's the name that I've been keeping up with, and I've had a bunch of questions about Davion Dozier, who's an in-state guy, 6'4", 200-pound guy. I don't know, man. I'm curious what's going to happen with him. I mean, he's really blown up on the recruiting trail, and I don't know. I haven't heard much chatter with him in Auburn, but it's possible. So that's another one.
And receivers, these kids might be waiting a little bit longer than others to kind of see what's going to go happen at Auburn.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Aaron Rudolph, what's up with Cam Riley?
Yeah, Cam Riley. I thought about him. I think he's referring back to that question about the linebacker, which one will break out. He could be the guy. I mean, he might be your jack of all trades guy because he can play just about anywhere, and he might play some edge too. So good pick. I would say it was a good pick.
No, I think he will be utilized in a lot of different spots. I think you are going to have to use him at edge, even moving out another guy from your linebacker room to kind of help supplement the edge area. I think you're still going to see him moonlight there some, and he'll be in the 2 deep. There's no question he's going to get snaps this year. He'll be in the 2 deep, whether he's a starter or not. To me, is irrelevant. He's going to play.
He'd probably be the rotate.
He's bringing his shirt off now, man.
I forgot. I told him. I told him I would. I'm a man of my word. There you go. Is that better?
I was not expecting that.
Bathrooms that way. All right, JP, hey, get us home, Zach. It's time for me to get off this damn thing. JP wants to know Jeff Rard to take. Cole, what do you think?
I think if he was to take today, he might be in the class.
Yes.
I think they're getting closer to it, though. I think the official visit this weekend really helped with that.
I think if he were a take, he wouldn't have told you guys he's waiting until December.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when he said that and we got off, I looked at Cole and said he may not have a spot in December.
Yeah.
But it may not have been his idea to wait till December.
Yeah, I think if they give him the green light, he'd probably jump in the class.
Mobile alum, 1991, said, "What's up, big dog, Jhead?"
Right, Mobile alum's a friend from the Rivals board. So hope you're doing well. Are we getting Osbury? I hope so. I think it's trending that way. And in fact, I think Notre Dame's the biggest competition there, vice LSU. I think LSU's a factor. Don't get me wrong, but I think Notre Dame's the other the school that's probably Auburn's biggest competition right now.
Are we getting Osbury? Is the question. The answer is yes.
Yeah, it's almost like you're not 100% banging on him, but when you look at the linebacker board, you go, okay, Osbury and who else? Like who else would join Osbury? It's getting more like that. We'll see if they close on it. I think they can.
And it's going to be D. Creighton. It's going to be Lewis Carter. Mark it down. Mark it down.
It's going to be 2 studs, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Linebacker's one of the least worried. I'm least worried about that position than anybody with C-Rob.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Jaden Osbury, to me, I talked to his mom. I talked to his dad when they were leaving Sunday. She freaking loves it, man. She loves Auburn. She loves Austin being here. She loves the coaches. I'm pretty confident, at least right now, that he's going to take that Osbury to Auburn.
Yep.
AU Barner and I, could we take Wesley Yates and Aiden Holloway, or only one of the two? Man, I need Jay Phillips on that. I don't really. I always thought Aiden Holloway was a point guard. Apparently, he's a combo guard. I don't know.
He's a combo.
Okay, and so is Wesley Yates, right?
Yes. I mean, I think you're probably – you could take both if you really wanted to. I don't think Bruce does. I think he's going to want to take a more true point guard in this class as opposed to 2 combo guys. But let's see how the visits shake out and kind of what he sees, because they do a lot of pickup. You know what I mean? They really work these kids when they bring them in on OVs to kind of get a better feel for their game and what they can handle. So let's see how the official visits go if they can get them on campus. We should have some better intel coming out of that.
I'll look into that, Barner. I'll look into that. T, the guy who draws what he likes. What's up, guys? Are there any under-the-radar guys on either side of the ball that could take a step forward on the team, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Let's see. Under the radar.
Would you consider Tavares Dawson an under-the-radar guy right now?
Yeah, he didn't have any catches last year. I'd call him under the radar.
Yeah, that'd be my pick. That would be my pick. On offense, on defense, maybe I'll go Joko Willis again.
I'm going to go Malcolm Johnson Jr. on offense because he didn't contribute last year. I think he's going to be in line to be the 3rd or 4th receiver this year. I just feel that they're going to try to utilize his deep speed at some point. On defense, That's tough, man. I feel like everybody's known as a contributor. If I'm being completely honest, let's go with Zeke Walker. I think Zeke Walker is somebody that hasn't performed to his capability just yet.
Maybe Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks.
I'm just trying to think of at this point. I'm just trying to think of some options, right? I'm just trying to think of some options.
It's reached that part of the show, man.
My head is. All right, Logan Smith. If we miss on Cobb, I don't know. If we miss on Brock Glenn, I don't know.
And that's why Cobb to me is so important. Got to land.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jhead. Seeing that question really made me realize how good your point was a minute ago.
Very true.
I'll tell you what. I ruffled some feathers on the board the other day talking about some possible under the radar prospects in Alabama.
Yeah, Cole, you'll learn not to do that shit.
Yeah, look.
That's freaking mistake right there.
No, if there's a position where you might find one, I'd say running back for the state of Alabama that you may not know about right now.
The Jarquez Hunter type.
Yeah, it's. I mean, look, there's still a whole football season to go for this class.
How many silent commits? Blake R wants to know. Blake, I wonder if you're the new guy, Blake R on the corner. If so, how about you? How many silent commitments do we have right now? I wonder. None that I know of.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say there are any right now.
I wouldn't call anybody silent. I would say we've probably got 5 to 6 guys that are close, that are feeling Auburn, but they're just waiting to feel some assurance there to really pull the trigger. I think we've got some guys that are in that spot, but do we have anybody that's committed to this staff? No, I don't think we have.
I also think there's some guys that were going, hey, man, you want me? Because I'm in if you want me. And they're going,
Yes.
Not yet. I think there are some guys on the line, but I don't think anybody has said, hey, man, I'm committed, but I'm going to wait.
Gotcha.
JP, did you see the 6'7" receiver Auburn offer for 2024? I did not.
Yes, that's Ja'Cory Whitted. I think.
Oh yeah.
He's going to actually be a tight end target, I believe. I was told.
Okay.
From Macador. He's from Macador.
Hell yeah, Yellow Jackets, big dog.
That might be a Malcolm Askew special.
There you go. Malcolm, who is on the staff now.
Yes.
Well, who's Auburn looking at the state of Mississippi? You know what? Good question, Jalen. That's a good damn question.
Jamarius Brown is the only one that comes to mind, and I hadn't heard his name in a while.
All right, let's see. We got about 3 minutes, man. Zach, you want to hit us with some lightning rounds, or if we're called up, man, we'll end this right now because we're all going to reconvene. We got naked J. Lee. Logan Smith. Do you think J.J. Evans could come back from his injury and step up? One of you two?
No.
Okay.
Not anymore. If they didn't add any transfers, maybe.
Hey, Zach, are we called up? I'm getting a little shit. Hey,
bro, I can't even look at you right now.
All right, hey, listen, we're appreciate everybody, man. The calls we had tonight, I think I quit waiting. Chase, Russ, Felix, T. Phillips, Aces Full, Willie Scott, Austin, Luke from Auburn, and AU Pusher, man. We had some awesome calls tonight. Most we've had in a long time. This was our 5th episode. We love it. We're having a great time. Going to continue it next week. Thursday, we're going to reconvene, do the Shrivel Pod, and I believe we're going to have some huge news to talk about come Thursday. And if you're a member to Auburn Live on 3, you're going to be ecstatic by the time we get back on here on Thursday. Yes. If you're not a subscriber to Auburn Live on 3, please go check it out, man. We've got a great thing going, and it's only going to get better in the next 24 hours. So
it's going to get better.
Yeah. And so anyway, check us out, Auburn Live on 3. We appreciate everybody. Thank you. See check us out Thursday on the Shrivel Pod. For Cole, Jhead, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Appreciate y'all. See you.